Hey everybody, it's Karyn Bryant. Welcome to the MMA Heat podcast. I'm here with
Pete Cummins.
And today we're going to talk about the UFC Fight Night Condit versus Alves fight card. There were some high moments there, some low moments, some low blows. Yikes, there were some dicey moments there. Fun card though, and we're also going to talk about Daniel Cormier. You know, last week he had his homecoming to Fox, and we'll talk a little bit about that. You know, the champ and the new champ thing and all that. And high five, what else?
Well, yeah, high five. I'm going to give Daniel Cormier a report card on how well he handled week one of being a champ.
Okay, well, very good. That's good to know. Speaking of report cards, Pete and I, you know, our kids go to school together. So we were doing our children were doing some science projects this weekend, and you have double the fun. You have two kids. That sucks for you, dude. So, third grade science, man. That's hardcore.
I told my wife, I said, listen, I was horrible at doing science projects growing up, and so, listen, I got to step out. And you know, I mean, and you got to take both kids. And I guess she grew up in England. Maybe they didn't do science projects, you know, because she's like, okay. And then like a night later, I come home and my wife's like really good with the kids, but she's snapping at them, and one of our kids is standing in the corner like, "Mommy's being mean," and so I had to step in and be like, "All right, I'll do one."
It's crazy. I mean, it's fun. It'll be interesting to see how they come together. That was fun. And last night we went to the U2 concert down at the Forum. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah,
it was good. You know, if I'm being completely honest, it was actually a little bit bittersweet for me because they were and have been like a favorite band of mine for so long, and I have such positive, fun memories of going to see them when I was a lot younger. It made me feel a little bit mortal. Do you know what I mean? Like, it made me kind of really recognize how much time had passed, and it started bumming me out a little bit. But they were great. It was really
saw
fun.
U2 in like '91, and they were past their prime then.
No, you think?
Yeah, it was like the one tour, you know?
Okay.
Like, yeah, and they were a little bit past their prime.
Well, I didn't think so. I thought it was fun.
By the way, I have one question. Wade, when I took that sip of coffee, was it quiet? Because my wife actually finally watched a podcast.
Oh, no.
And this was her notice to me after. I keep meaning to tell you, when you do the podcast, don't slurp your coffee. I heard it every time you lifted the cup to your mouth, which was a lot, by the way.
Well, she's probably judging my sipping as well.
I'm going to try this. Wade, let me know how the sound is.
Wow.
Silent?
For the most part.
That was good.
For the most part.
That was good. Listen, we're eating up our round. We're already in round one. For crying out loud, Pete. Get it together. No, it's cool. It's fine. So, Carlos Condit came blasting back. The guy was out 441 days, tore his ACL in his fight with Tyron Woodley, came back, and great fight with Thiago Alves, went down to Brazil. This is the first time Condit had ever fought in Brazil. Went down there, got the stop, just dropped these amazing, just elbows. You know, the first round was, Carlos, you know, it took him a little time to get warmed up and get his timing back and, you know, find his range. And actually some of the judges, or at least one of them, had given Alves, you know, the first round, because he was doing well. But once Carlos gets that down, like literally it's like the shark starting to circle the water, like, oh, all right, I figured it out. Now I'm going in for the kill. And those standing elbows and everything, just ridiculous. So he ended up, you know, basically they call it a TKO at 5 minutes of round two because Thiago was not able to come out for the third round.
Well, and first of all, too, like, let's talk about, like, what a gutsy fight to take your first fight after reconstructed knee surgery, because Alves has some devastating leg kicks.
Yes.
I mean, that, like, and you saw, because he came out orthodox.
He's orthodox. Condit is orthodox, yes.
Okay, so he came out southpaw first. Whatever he came out, he really didn't want to put that right leg forward.
Well, the thing is, usually his right leg is in back, but it's funny because this weekend at Fox, I had Yves Edwards on with us for the first time, and he's from American Top Team, so he's a teammate, and he's trained, you know, with Thiago, and he said, oh, hands down, that's the hardest that I've ever been kicked in my career. He said, it, like, without a doubt. He was sparring with him one time and just was like, yeah, fuck this. With leg kicks, he's like, I'm out. I can't take it.
If I've reconstructed knee surgery, my first fight is is against like skinny legs McGuire.
Exactly.
He's all like upper body.
Exactly. And so we were even saying that, like, oh, well, you know, Carlos has at least the advantage of that reconstructed knee being the back leg. And he was like, psh, it doesn't matter. He's like, basically what's going to happen is Thiago's going to destroy the front leg so much that you'll have no other option other than to switch stance and put the questionable one in front. But listen, it didn't happen. You know, Carlos looked amazing. If you want to look at the control, he had 2 minutes and 31 seconds of control. Thiago only had 6. Carlos landed 83 total strikes to 12. Yeah. So Carlos landed 71% of his strikes. Significant strikes, 51 to Alves's 11. Carlos even had 2 takedowns, which usually, you know, Carlos actually gets taken down usually in a fight, but he doesn't really panic because he knows he's decent on the ground, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, obviously with Thiago, all his strikes, the leg strikes, he went 5 for 5. Those do land. But head strikes for Mr. Condit, significant, 67% there, and head strikes for Alves, only 20%. So here's the question, though. You know, Carlos Condit thinking he should get the next shot at the winner of Rory McDonald and Robbie Lawler, the title fight that's going down with UFC 189. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
So who's 2 and 3? Who's it?
Okay, so right now you have Johnny Hendricks is actually number 1. It's kind of confusing sometimes because you might have the champion and you'll still have the number 1 person. Doesn't mean number 1 is necessarily getting the title fight. So it goes champion, then you have Johnny Hendricks, then Rory McDonald, Tyron Woodley's at number 3, and Carlos Condit was at number 4 going into this fight. Now we know that Carlos lost to Tyron. Some people will say it's because he got hurt. Some people will say Tyron will tell you it's because he hurt him. Regardless,
well, I think that's true.
Regardless, right? So, and Tyron's out for a little while, healing up for an injury. So, I'm okay with Condit. He's the interim champ, a former interim champ. The storyline is interesting because he beat Rory McDonald. Granted, it was 5 years ago, and granted, they're different fighters.
So, what was Rory, like 12 then? How old was he? Like 5 years ago. What, did he beat him up on the playground?
Yeah, that was all the way back in 2010. So, I'm okay with Condit getting the next shot. I'm honest because I'm not sure what, you know, Tyron's timeline is, and then eventually if he is the champion, then Tyron could have that rematch with Condit as a champ or something. It's a good storyline.
Now Johnny Hendricks beat Condit.
Yeah, it was close though.
Right.
All of Johnny's fights are close. Except when he lays you out with the left hand of God. Then they're not close at all. Then it's close to the grave.
I mean, those elbows were just insane.
Dude! So we have a picture of Thiago Alves. We'll see. Here's Condit. This is always great for the audio podcast. But we do have the visuals here of Thiago Alves.
He's got blood all over him.
And his nose. Thiago tweeted this picture out afterwards. This poor guy. I mean, listen. Thiago Alves is one of those guys, when I first started watching the UFC, he was one of my favorite fighters right away.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like the way he fights, his whole style. You know, that pit bull, he was that little, just rugged, just badass little dude. And so I've always been a fan. So to see him lose kind of bums me out.
I'll tell you though,
like him a lot.
How did he survive that second round?
Because he's a tough guy.
He's
Dude, I don't know. And he's on the stool, and I think he would have kept fighting.
And that's why, listen, give Tyron Woodley his due. Like, if you take out someone's knees, you hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know.
Yeah, but, you know, the argument is that it was actually Tyron kicked the lead leg, and when Carlos was like checking it and spinning, his right leg popped. But again, it's an argument that Tyron is. I guess he was having it all night. Yeah, there's Alves on the stool. I guess Tyron was going back and forth with people on Twitter too, because people were trying basically that same argument. Oh, you didn't beat him, and he's like, well,
he beat him.
Who's got the win on the record? Anyway, moving on to round 2 here, the co-main event was also exciting. So this was Charles Oliveira and Nick Lentz. They first fought basically like 4 years ago, and it was a great fight. The first one ended with so they're tussling around in the ground, they're rolling around. They kind of post up a little bit. Oliveira lands an illegal knee because Nick Lentz is downed. They keep going, though. They keep going, and eventually Lentz gets submitted. So after the fight, though, it did get overturned to a no contest. But, you know, it was a great fight. And afterwards, Oliveira was all apologetic and everything, and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to land this illegal knee, but, like, you know, I can only apologize so much, and whatever. They didn't stop the fight right then and there. So anyway, they finally have this rematch, and I was like, I think Oliveira's going to submit him again. I hate to tell you folks. And I was right. It was a good fight. Nick Lentz put up a good fight. He's a scrappy dude, but Oliveira is like, come on.
Well, first of all, I can't believe that Lentz I mean, he won round 2. And,
yeah, totally.
And after round 1, I was like, yeah, this fight's just going one way. And, you know, and he won round 2. But Oliveira, what is he? He's like 6'2", 145 pounds. And he's got those arms, where you're like this. Like you see one hand there, and then this other hand's poking up.
Exactly.
And you're like, is that the same arm? How is that attached? How long is that arm?
Dude, it's a different dude. Well, that's the whole thing. We've got a picture of him here getting in a choke. That's the whole thing about Oliveira is it doesn't really sort of matter where you are when you're fighting him. You could be standing, you could be on the ground, you could be halfway. Yeah, he's got a submission attempt going on somewhere, and whether or not you're absolutely even aware of it right now, he's like, yeah, I'm talking to you people, my legs are jacking you up right now.
It's like snakes are like moving around you, and you're just constantly like trying to protect the chin.
Exactly. So he's so crafty, he's so creative. Again, he's another one of those guys. When he first came on the scene, I was like, I like this dude. Right. And and he kind of had some ups and downs, and he was trying to figure out the right weight class for him. But I am a fan. So Charles Oliveira there, the submission, he actually had less control time because Lick Lentz, University of Minnesota wrestler. He's a great wrestler. So he had more control, 6 minutes and 19 seconds of control.
I think that's misleading, though.
It is.
I mean, he fights off his back.
He's not worried about it. Yeah, he's not worried about it. So
I think that's misleading.
Yeah. Total strikes landed 84 of 105 for Oliveira. That's 80%. 58 of 95 for. Actually, yes, I could use a sip as well, Joe.
I'm not that loud.
That was refreshing. It's funny though because it says Oliveira actually technically they're crediting him with 2 submission attempts, but really it's like the entire time is a submission attempt. So good on him. But like I said, it was funny when we were working this fight. Dominic Cruz is a very he's in his head a lot. He's very analytical, and he was talking about. He's like, well, I don't understand. Nick Lentz, yes, lost round 1. Totally commands round 2. Why did he come back to round 3 with the round 1 strategy? He's like, you know what I mean? He's like, why didn't you just keep doing what was working for you? Obviously, fatigue sets in. You know what I mean? Obviously, as it goes on, it's harder. But he was so effective and came close.
I think Brian Stan made the comment as they came out for round 3. It was Oliveira looked like surprisingly fresh. Like I mean, after round 2, he like bounded out there, and and Nick was a little bit sloppy on his feet. So
what you gonna do? So I feel like at least now he's like the score is settled. I submitted you, no questions asked this time. You know what I mean? Let's move on. But it was a great, kind of a cool rivalry, and they'd actually been scheduled to fight a few times. And one guy would get sick like the night of the weigh-ins and blah 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 blah. So that was kind of tricky. I'm glad that one. I'm interested to see who he goes on to fight next. And I loved. What did you think of his Vitor haircut? Were you feeling the Vitor? Oliveira went with the cross and the sort of he was rocking the Vitor.
Yeah, I gotta say that's not a good look.
You don't like that look?
Yeah, for you kids at home, that's not.
How do you feel about Nick's nickname, the Karyn? Are you cool with the Karyn? I felt like you would like that.
Well, he does actually have sort of crazy eyes, and he's got like, and he kind of has that like hillbilly haircut. Where you're like, it certainly fits you. Are you sure it's what you want to go with, though? I mean, I'm not a very tall guy. I certainly wouldn't want Pete Shorty coming. Yes, I understand it's accurate.
Yes.
Pete the occasional stutterer coming. It's not.
What
really
offends you more, the high part or the old guy part?
I think when you put them together, it's a term of endearment.
It is, actually.
I think it's a term
it is a term of endearment.
I think, though, separately, they're both pretty damn offensive.
They really kind of are. I just noticed.
It's like when you say that someone's awful, but then when you say they're awful good, it's all right.
Or you're awfully cute. You got a little son at the party the other day, didn't you? I was thinking you were blushing, but now I'm thinking Jackson just sunburned.
No, just this. I mean, this forehead right here. I mean, I could sell solar panels on this forehead.
You and me both. Space to let up here.
We're actually an 8-head right
here. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. All right, moving on to round 3. Let's talk about some of the other highlights from the night. Norman Park versus Francisco Trinaldo, also known as Masaran Duba. So I like Norman Park. Met him when he won Tough Smashes. I was down in Australia for that. He had a good head on his shoulders. He seemed a smart kid, grounded guy, hard worker, da-da-da-da-da. So, a little pissed off. He lost a split decision to Massaranduba down in Brazil, and he said after the fight, he's like, "What the hell?" He's like, "I won round 1 and 3. I'm never fighting in Brazil again," because he once fought to a draw down there with Leonardo Santos, and so he's pretty pissed. How did you see that fight?
I agree that I saw it 29-28 for Park, but round 1 could have gone either way.
Yeah.
So to say that you definitively won round 1, I don't agree with that. I thought round 1 he got a clean takedown, and that was the difference in the round, so I gave it to him. But, you know, I don't think you can go on social media and be saying that you clearly won round 1.
Yeah, so looking at it though, if you look at certain numbers, Norman Park had 6 minutes and 18 seconds of control, Trinaldo only 44 seconds, but see here when you look at total strikes, you know, Trinaldo landed 70 of 196. Norman only landed 31 of 89, so Trinaldo just way busier, you know, way of
But how many of those 70 were in round 2? Probably about 60 of them.
Sure.
I mean,
no, listen, round 2 was rough for Norman. I mean, he started to look bad. Like, he started to look tired and like, I'm getting beat up. Like, and that was the thing, is he didn't look like the guy I expected. I kind of expected, you know, Stormin' Norman before this fight. He's like, I'm just going in there and scrapping. I'm not going to overthink things. I'm going there to throw down. And I think that he didn't seem as well conditioned as he is a lot of the time. Like, I mean, and that's also because somebody's throwing stuff at you constantly.
Well, Trinaldo just kept coming forward in that second round, just throwing bombs. I mean, listen, third round, he takes the bit back for almost the entire fight. Yeah. And in the second round, he's just throwing bombs. So you know, it all comes down to that first round.
Yeah, I mean, and Norman did get 4 takedowns. You know, it's tough. I do like him. That's a tough fight. The funny thing is, before this, I guess Trinaldo was like, "Hey, I was looking forward to an easy fight." He's like, "That wasn't easy." Like, why he thought Norman Park was going to be an easy fight, I don't know.
Who the hell stepped into the octagon thinking?
It's just, I was like, but
I like the confidence.
I do too, but I was like, it's not going to be an easy fight.
Easy. So playing a softball league.
Totally soft. I hate slow pitch softball. I played softball. I was really good, and then when I switched to like slow, I was like, there's this thing arcing. I was like, when is it ever going to find the strike zone? Is it ever coming in here? Did you see Ryan Jimmo, the family jewels, the Jimmies, the little Jimmies?
Listen, I give him a lot of credit, because weren't a bunch of his fights stopped due to injury before
2 of his fights. One of his fights, he was like, "Oh, my arm was like broken in the middle," and another one, I think it was like I forget if it was a leg thing or something. I forget. So yeah. So
he obviously did not want this fight to stop. But when he came out in the third round, he was looking at the clock the entire round. I mean, that third round, I gave that round to the ref because he didn't fall asleep. I mean, that was like that was the worst round. But I can't, I mean, Jimmo took a shot, and he should not have come out, and I give him all the credit. He just wanted to finish that fight. He did not want to stop by injury.
Well, he does have, in the light heavyweight division against Parash, the fastest KO in light heavyweight division, and the third fastest in all of the UFC. It was just a 7-second KO, but literally...
A 7-second?
Yeah, he came out and just demolished Parash. No, yeah, well, that's the third fastest in the whole UFC. Okay, now you're putting me on the spot. I think, well, the fastest, there was a 6-second, and then there was this whole debate about it, whether or not it was 6 seconds of 5. This is a whole debate for another show. Some people, depending on whose score, like what time thing, you know what I mean, whatever.
I think I could last 6 seconds.
Do you?
I just go, and then just start running around.
John Fitch once got knocked out, and it was so sad. He got laid out so fast. Charlie Brenneman got knocked out really fast one time. It's sad when you think about how fast these guys...
Listen, you can get knocked out in one blow, and if that blow happens to be the first blow of the fight.
Speaking of these low blows, though, because you know it's bad when they bring the bucket in.
And he was dry heaving. And the announcers were funny, you know, because sometimes they're like, "Oh, do we have to see that again?"
I can't believe, now you put me on the spot, I'm going to have to, I can't remember who's got the #1 fastest, because there is this whole debate about it.
Well, you've got your research.
I don't remember now.
Now, can I say that Jimmo kind of looks like Mr. Clean?
Yeah, he totally does. He totally does. Yeah. So, anybody else stand out to you? Was there anything else that was impressive?
Darren Till.
Yeah, right.
Darren Till had a nice knockout. And then after the fight...
See, I knew this was going to blow your mind because you didn't know this going in, right?
After the fight, he kisses his coach.
Oh, okay, that. But he also spoke perfect Portuguese.
Perfect Portuguese with, like, what, a Scottish accent?
He's English. Yeah.
But then after the fight, he runs over to the cage and he kisses a dude, and I'm like, and I kind of rewind it, and then I'm like, these Europeans are confusing, Ken.
Yeah, well, and it was funny.
He's got a picture of a woman tattooed on his arm.
Right.
And
the funny thing is because he trains down in Brazil, and that was the whole thing. Is you're looking at this pasty English dude, and then he rocks the mic, and totally starts speaking great Portuguese. So I thought that was cool. He was, that was kind of fun.
So do guys kiss each other on the lips in Portugal?
In Brazil and
Brazil?
stuff? Yeah,
Brazil?
sure. And they cry. They're not afraid to show affection, Pete.
Yeah, but are they manly enough to slip their own coffee?
Listen. Wow, Joe is a lucky girl. We are in round 4 now. So, last week, speaking of...
By the way, it's Dwayne Lunway.
See, it is...
6.06.
Right, it's bang with 6, but there was somebody else that had one that they were debating whether his was actually faster than Bang's.
You got Jimmo at 7. And you've got
7.
Korean Zombie at 7.
See, but I know there was another one that was debated whether or not it was faster than Bang's, or if Bang's was actually exactly at 6 seconds, or if it was 7.
Todd Duffy 7 and Don Fry 8.
All right, because there was a while ago somebody else had one, and then it opened up this whole debate about who was actually first. That's lame. I couldn't remember that. It's been a long weekend.
I didn't think you could get shot with a gun in 6 seconds.
Can you?
I'm still up. I'm still at 6, 7. Now I'm dead.
Now you're done.
Now I'm dead.
So, DC. People, my keyboard warriors. The man is a champion. The man has a...
Are there people still trying to discredit him?
Paper champ! Oh, he's not the real champ.
Here's the deal. Give somebody shit if they duck a fight. Don't give anyone shit if they take every fight that steps in front of them. So until Jon Jones gets his shit together, he's done all he can do.
How is it paper that you go in, get absolutely leveled by Rumble Johnson, come back and beat him? How is that a paper? How did you not achieve anything actually there by beating the guy that destroyed Alexander Gustafsson?
And it's not, listen, DC's faced everybody. So when Jon Jones is ready, he'll face Jon Jones. But don't give him shit.
Oh, God, it drives me up the wall. So listen, last week he came into UFC Tonight, and we had this, big welcome. This is the first time he was coming back to Fox after winning the title. So we actually, I filmed this on my Samsung on my Note, which I love. I love my Note. It's just, I love it.
My day we call that a computer.
No, yes. So I want you guys to listen to what DC had to say. There was also my boss George Greenberg in there. He gave a nice word. So this is on my YouTube channel, KarynBryant.com. If you want to hear what George had to say, and we have Eric Shanks, the big boss. We have a lot of our friends here and stuff like that, but Eric didn't speak, just George did. So if you want to hear the whole thing, that's on my YouTube channel. But let's take a listen to what DC had to say. I know.
Guys, thank you guys all for doing this. It's amazing. George and Eric and everybody, thanks for giving me a chance to work here.
You wouldn't want to miss him $30,000 and get paid per day.
The fighting,
jealous of Vince being taking his spot.
The fighting, I love fighting and everything, but more than anything, I got nervous because Bisping's just been in here way too much. The guy already wins in the looks department. I can't have him taking my job. But guys, thank you so much. So special. George, I appreciate you guys taking a chance. I love every one of you guys. And I will be a champion that Fox Sports and the UFC can be proud of. So thank you guys.
Yeah, baby! It's awesome. I mean, he's a really good guy. And the funny thing is, he's worked so hard for this. I mean, this is like pure joy. Right. Do you know what I mean? And it really was cool to celebrate that with him and be there because, and I think I've told you this story before. So, at UFC Tonight, we've had some other hosts who have gone for title fights. A man named Chael Sonnen went for a title fight against Jon Jones, and also Rashad Evans, who, is not a UFC Tonight host, but who I work with a lot at Fox, also faced Jon Jones. And so, the people at work get really invested in these guys. They love loved them and everything. And I remember before when everyone was like, oh, and well, you know, in DC lost to John before, but they were like, oh my God, this is so awesome. Chael is gonna like fight for the title. We're gonna have a champ. And this is like the makeup and wardrobe girls and stuff. And they were just like, they love Chael, and I love Chael. Chael's awesome. They were like, oh, it's so cool. And I was like, I don't know how to tell you this, right? And they were like, well, what do you mean? I was like, yeah, John Jones is otherworldly. I was like, it's not gonna go well. You know what I mean? And they were like, what do you mean? I was like, so then we know what happened.
Right.
We also know what happened. I guess the other thing was when, and again, we all love Chael, and Chael's the first one to tell you this too, when Chael had to fight Rashad, that was the other one. And everybody was like, didn't know who to pull for because they loved them both, but they were like, I don't know who, oh, but Chael, we love, and I was like, oh, no. I'm like, Rashad is a former champion. And I was like, yeah, I love
So
Chael.
what do you say to Chael during that? Like, hey,
you made some money, my man. He doesn't care. Like, dude, going into this, like, Chael's the first one to tell. Like, literally, we were all working together when Dana was going back and forth texting these guys, Rashad and Chael, to fight each other. So we were all up at the desk at a fight, and they're all like, oh man, you know what I mean? And then they're like putting this thing together. And listen, Chael, it sounds ironic that Chael is honest about certain things, but like he knew what he was getting into. He knew what he was getting into. And Rashad is great. And he even said, he's like, man, Rashad is like, he's a big dude. And you know, he's like, once he got there and was on me, he's like, that's just a heavy ass dude. That it was really hard to get off of you. So
I cracked up when you said Chael saw you before.
Oh yeah. I made eye contact. This sucked so bad because you know we could sit really close, and Chael was coming out to fight Rashad, and the way the lighting was, and Chael comes out, and he looks down, and I'm like, I must have had this look, oh God, like, and he looks right at me, he's like, oh shit, and then I was like, oh, maybe he couldn't really see me because of the glare of the thing, and da-da-da, so we see him afterwards, you know, on the set, and I was like, did you see? He's like, yeah, no, I saw you. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
So basically, you don't have a poker face.
Don't have a poker face. I was like, this is not gonna end well.
Now, did you get a picture with the belt?
Yes, I did. It's on my Instagram, KB Heat, and we may even have it here. I put it on Facebook. I mean, dude, it's awesome.
Now here's the thing, like,
it's awesome.
I love the belt, but if I was like Dana White, I would have the women get like a brooch, like you know, like a giant hair brooch, so they'd have to like wear it like this.
Is that right? Like, is that right?
Yeah.
Nice. Thank God you're not Dana. Well, we are in round 5. It's high five. Did you? Let's see. There's a picture of me with the champ. Look at that. Come on.
Look at that.
Bam.
Look at that. Look at that.
Bam. I love it. It's a happy man, and he's
at
a good dude. I'm
That's
psyched for
great.
him. I'm
That's
psyched
great.
for him. Yeah, it's awesome. Rumble's a great guy too, so it's not like, you know, I think they would have both been good champs, but we're real happy for DC. So yeah.
Very
so
cool.
But you in high five here, you say you actually have some.
So anyway, this was DC's first week as champ, and you know, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into being the champ, and so I've sort of done my report card of this, and so here here DC is, and well. Wait, can you put up the report card? We're gonna take a look at okay. So you know, the World Champions Institute of Behavior report card. So first of all, let's start with the name.
Yeah.
DC. That's an A+ name.
Sure.
That's an A+ name.
Yeah.
That's a champion. DC. It rhymes with Ali.
Sure.
And plus, you can go a little bit formal if you want to add a little gravitas, like in case there's a documentary about him. You know, you could have. What? Oh, damn, I lost my... No. So, you know, but while DC was champion, the man called Daniel Cormier was a tortured soul. Do you see?
Yes,
do you
I
see
do.
what you get
I
with
see
that?
that.
And then, like, if Obama ever introduces you, you know that he would use both, like Daniel DC Cormier. You know, so anyway, great name.
Yes.
A+. Mine happens to suck. Pete Cummin. Great name. But then we go a little bit.
Okay.
The return to work.
Yeah.
I got to give him a D.
Why?
Why? I'll tell you why, Karyn. First of all, listen, I'm happy for DC. Yeah. But as a journalist, can I call myself a journalist? I'm a little bummed out. Because DC is like a 72-degree day with a light breeze. Yeah. It's the day you want, but it's not the day you talk about. You see what I'm saying?
No, I'm not sure.
No. So, growing up, what do they always talk about? The blizzard of '78.
Yes.
Okay, you never talked about,
so he's too good of a guy. He's too good of a guy.
He's too good of a guy.
I gotcha.
As a journalist, what are we going to talk about?
Well, but he had the fight
It's a week old. DC's a really nice guy. DC totally deserved it. What am I going to talk about in week 2?
He talked smack with Ryan Bader.
He did. But listen.
You're right.
I'm proud he's
He put a roof over his children's head.
I'm proud he's champ. He deserves it. But listen, in the UFC alone, there are 10 champs, 11 if you include the interim champ.
Okay.
So listen, my point is there's more champs than cases of bird flu. So the question is, are you going to be a great champ like Ali? Or are you going to be a champ like Larry Holmes? Somewhat forgettable. So I'm going to help. I'm helping DC. Okay. So the return to work. I gave him a D. I would have given him an F, but at least it looked like he showed up late.
Right.
It kind of looked like you guys were all waiting for. But as a journalist, the return to work, he's got to show up after a 3-day coat bender with a hooker on each arm, wearing a free Cosby shirt.
That's the old champ.
And then he's got to walk and point to each person and go, "You didn't believe in me? You didn't believe in me? You didn't believe in me, so fuck you all, I'm king of the world."
Pete's working through some stuff right now.
No, that's the champ that a journalist wants. All right, let's go to the outfit.
Okay.
Let's go to the outfit. I gave him a D.
Yeah.
Come on. He comes in, t-shirt, jeans, wearing a knapsack. He looked like a teenager. The only reason why I didn't give him an F is because it kind of looked like, it sort of looked like he was telling his boss, yeah, I'm going to be playing Xbox all day. So listen.
Yeah. He put on a nice suit once he got there, but yes, I agree. Yeah. Okay.
Listen, you're the champ, okay?
Yes.
You're the champ. So me, if I was the champ, and I've often, of anything, if I was the champ of anything. Wade, can we put up the slide? I would dress like 1971 Walt Frazier, accessorized with Floyd Mayweather's bling and Tom Brady's arm candy. That's me. That's just me. That's what I do as the champ, okay?
I would love to see you rocking this on the cover of Jet, no less.
If I have a modicum of success anywhere in my life, this is, well, my wife will be here. So
yes, Joe's hot. She's hot.
Okay, so, but listen, I don't suggest this for DC. Not everyone can pull off the Walt Frazier, Mayweather, Tom Brady arm candy look. So for DC, I put a lot of thought in this, and I've come up with, I think he looked good in a zoot suit. In a zoot suit with Justin Bieber carrying his belts. Right there.
No Bieber.
Come on.
No Bieber.
You know that
DC would rock the suit, though. I give you that.
He would totally rock the suit. And the definition of success, if you have a PBH, a personal belt holder. And come on, Justin, right there.
I'd rather see the Burger King than Justin.
Okay, all I'm saying, okay.
Actually, it'd be the Popeye's chicken guy. It'd be Popeye. DC loves
I'm just telling, DC would look good in a suit.
He would actually rock that suit.
All right, so, wait, can we go back to the report card? Where are we? All right, so okay.
Yeah.
ODW.
What does that mean?
Ostentatious display of wealth.
Okay.
Has DC purchased anything ridiculous in the past week?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Incomplete. He needs help in this area. Dude, you're the champ. Now listen, Mike Tyson was the king of this.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, he bought a tiger.
Yes, he did buy a tiger. Oh my God.
Mike Tyson bought a tiger, man. Okay? I heard that Mike Tyson once paid a Thai prostitute to mate with a panda bear because he was trying to create a panda-toot. It's just what I heard. Look it up. It's on the internet. Has to be true. Conor McGregor is going to silk screen his face onto a polar bear, I heard. Yeah. So listen, DC, I understand that you might not want to buy the tiger.
Yeah, no.
But at least do like the stupid 3-wheel motorcycle.
Oh my God.
You gotta buy something totally stupid. Ostentatious display of wealth. We gotta help him there. We gotta help him. Finally, yes. Exploitation.
Of himself or of
his status. You got to make some money off your new champ status. All right. Now listen. George Foreman was the king of that.
Yes, he was.
George Foreman was the king. Long before LeBron James tried to convince us that Beats headphones sounded better than Bose, which they don't, George Foreman sold us a grill, and we bought it.
Look at that. Well, yeah, that dude retired on the grill sales probably more than anything.
Oh, dude, he made like $140 million on selling grills. So listen, DC, forget Reebok. That's child's play. Go into business with me. We're going to sell something on QVC that costs next to nothing, and we're going to make a fortune, okay? So, Karyn?
Yeah.
If you could please read the voiceover for DC, I'm pitching you our QVC commercial, okay?
Okay. Hi. I'm UFC light heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier. When I lost my first title shot to John Jones last January, my goal of becoming a champion seemed a long way off. Until I put on the new Daniel Cormier Drive and Determination bracelet. Simply wrap the bracelet around your wrist, fasten it with this handy brass clip, and sit back in amazement as magnetic ions work with your body's immune system to release drive and determination into your bloodstream. You know who also has bloodstreams? NASA astronauts. So, you know this works. And now, for a limited time, you can get not one, but two for the low price of only $49.95. And if you act now, we'll throw in this jug of liquid courage absolutely free. That's 2 bracelets and 1 jug for only $49.95. Act now.
Call me, DC. We can make a lot of money. We can make a lot of money.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
So what do you think? I think
you might be onto something.
Listen.
You might be onto something. Drive and determination bracelet.
Dude, no one's gonna know it's not. Well,
it's actually not a bad idea. You know they sell those copper bracelets and do.
Yeah, look at that. Listen, I bought a pet rock in the late 70s, okay? If you tell me I could have drive and determination without actually earning it, I'm going to throw in at least $49.
It's not a bad idea.
Do you think you can put in a good word for
I'll put it in front of him.
Yeah,
I'll put it.
All right. You know.
And how about my cold reading skills there, too?
You're cold.
It's almost like I'm a professional.
And how about my QVC acting?
Better than me. My nail polish is all jacked up now. It got all messed up. That's good, Pete. It will be interesting to see what kind of a champion he does turn out to be. And like I said, you know, he says he's going to be a champion. You can be proud of it. And honestly, it is worth checking out. Well, the whole video that I put of the DC's arrival and the kind words that our boss had for him is worth checking out.
I did like what he's. Sorry.
No, inadvertently, I filmed one of our coworkers who is well endowed.
Okay.
Kind of hustling into position.
Right.
She now has probably 100,000 followers on YouTube. I mean, like I didn't realize this.
Did we have a bounce? Did we have a bounce as she hustled into position?
Yeah, you could say so. It didn't occur to me because I just didn't. It's not gonna register in my brain.
How did you not include
and immediately Wade's like, hell yeah! It's like, what have I done? He's like, yeah, gold. So you're welcome for the butt shots of the ring girls last week.
That was nice.
Although some people were like, I thought you said they had butts. Like some people like a meteor.
Yeah, I read a couple of those comments.
I want to say thank you to those that thought those girls had skinny asses. Thank you.
I thought those were pretty darn good butts.
Of course you did. But you're a little white dude, Pete.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. Oh, he is shaking.
No, that's Eric. No, that's not Eric running it. I'm not sure who that is. Don't
Here we go.
Don't. Okay, fine.
So hold on. That got her like 100,000.
I don't know if she really has that many followers. It did get a lot of comments, and
you guys do realize there's real nice porn out there, right? www.
Anyway, I didn't know this, and now I'm embarrassed when I see her because I don't think she's aware of this video. And then I saw her the other day, and I'm like, oh God, this poor woman. If she ever saw this clip, she'd probably be horrified.
Isn't that funny though? Because like a woman would never like pick that up.
No, I didn't. It didn't even register. Like it didn't even.
How horny are the people? I mean, first of all, and not only that, but like you're like, you're watching like Daniel Cormier coming into work, and then you so quickly transition.
That's what I'm saying. And so that's why I'm just waiting for my friend to show up so we can high five. And like I didn't even, you know.
Hey man, have her call me too. We can work something in on QVC.
Pete's got a new show. He's gonna call it Jiggles and Giggles, and he's gonna have girls bouncing around with their you-know-whats while he cracks bad jokes.
These guys want to see it.
You know you would watch. That's the sad thing.
See it. They want to see it. They want to see it.
They totally would.
No, but
I thought you were going to do that at one point, but Jiggles and Giggles was taken or something, so we needed to come up with something else. Like,
and the funnier he is, the more they
jiggle. Right.
Well, that was when my wife's like, let's talk about the long-term, how do I say this? The long-term example you want to set for your sons. You know, and I was like, what? I'm cracking jokes, and we're filming girls' boobs, and if it's a funny joke, the boobs move more. What's not to like? We're trying to raise respectful young men. Dude, I was like, by the end, I was like, sorry, dear. I'll take out the trash.
Oh, so, God. Yeah, but for that one day, that was your golden goose. That was you were going to retire on that.
I was going to retire on Jiggles. I still think Jiggles and Giggles would work.
Think it could work too.
But apparently I'm supposed to.
There's no flip side to that either for women. There's no
Bulgin.
Ew, no.
Bulgin laugh.
No. I don't want to look at that. I don't.
Shade.
I don't. The only bulge is the wallet bulge. That's the one we want to look at, Pete. Come on.
All right.
Come on.
All right.
Just show pictures of you.
I have no wallet bulge. I have no.
You're not getting rich off this show, Pete? How's that not happening?
Well, I really need Chris Weidman to just start shitting everywhere. I need Chris Weidman to come up and sit on this desk and shit live. Every week. Rhonda, can you do anything? Can you come up here and just start?
No. Listen, folks, next week... if Pete's back, we'll bring you.
Am I getting fired?
Does that get you excited, Karyn?
Wow, look at that. No, see, it actually doesn't, because the money part is good, but I don't like this beat up leather wallet. This shows me this guy is not classy.
And you don't have a 50 show, and you got to have the C-note.
That's what I'm saying. This shows me, this is a dude, this is like a farmer who had to go put his last payment in on the John Deere, so his wallet's loaded up for the one time in his life, because this is a POS wallet. Like, I need a classier operation than that, or a money clip, something nice. That's a no.
Farmer.
The trifold farmer wallet is not working for me. I'm sorry, it's just not. If I'm being realistic.
You are a complicated woman, Karyn.
I am a complicated woman, Pete. I am. But anyway, listen, next week, Dan Henderson is facing, Tim Boach. And
Karyn, I don't want to brag or anything, but I got a 5er, I got a 1er, I got another 1 here, Karyn. I don't know.
Wow.
If this was 1782,
Oh, wow.
I could buy you dinner.
You could. Oh my God.
And we might even have enough to catch us a cab horse home.
Oh my God. No, listen. So, yeah, next week Dan Henderson is facing Tim Boach. You know, we'll talk about this depending on how it goes. You know, I like Dan Henderson a lot, but I don't know if I like watching him get beat up. Right. So depending on how this fight goes, you know, we'll see what happens. He and Boach are kind of similar stylistically in a way, so I don't know what's going to happen on that one. But I believe I'm doing the weigh-in show for that one on the old FS. And we have UFC Tonight. We have a Tough Talk this week. We've got some good stuff going on.
Cool.
Yeah. What you doing this week? Coming down from that science test. the science.
Yes, I am not doing any science projects.
No more science projects.
I'm not doing any projects.
Right.
Well, Karyn, I just thought just do my normal thing, you know, play a little Xbox and wait until next Monday.
Right. All right.
When I have a purpose in life.
Nice.
To please you people.
Okay, well, I'm gonna beat myself up a little bit after this show.
You are?
Yeah, because I couldn't remember that it was Bang. I feel bad about that.
Wow. So
I feel bad. I'm supposed to know that, and I couldn't remember who the other one was that was tied in the whole thing.
Is that the threshold to be? So
Yes.
I mean, so I should basically shoot myself in the face after every show. Peter, I need to beat myself up, but you again need to swallow this grenade.
I'm supposed to remember that it was Bang. And then,
Yeah. All right.
I'm going to show you though. There is a whole debate about it.
Okay.
You're riveted.
Well, you did remember there was a debate.
Yes, there is a debate. I better go get online now and start that debate. How do you backdate a forum post, Wing?
Create your own forum.
Yeah.
Just create a bunch of different names and just have an argument with yourself.
All right, so anyway, if you want to see that whole Daniel Cormier clip, go to my YouTube channel, YouTube.com/Karyn Bryant, Karyn Bryant. Also, if you're looking for techniques and information on how to get better at MMA, go to MMA.help, and you'll find techniques from our Hall of Fame friend Frank Trigg and our guys down at Strong Sports, so that's pretty cool. Follow me on Instagram at KB.H.E.A.T, Twitter, Karyn Bryant. Pete Cummins, you can find him online at
My Noogie. Twitter.
And maybe you'll find him on Home Shopping soon. Or at least on Shark Tank. You and DC could go in there on Shark Tank.
DC needs to call me. Because listen, people trust him. I mean, come on, no one trusts me, but but people trust him. So listen, we make
an Olympic athlete. He's gold. I mean, he's got the gold. He's got the gold belt.
And then somebody, comes to us and goes, I didn't get any.
You didn't wear it long enough.
Well, one. If you don't have any drive and determination, how'd you end up here complaining about it?
Obviously.
There you go. There's drive.
You were pretty determined.
You're not giving yourself enough
to tell me.
So I'll tell you what. We're going to sell you this new self-esteem pen because apparently you don't see how good you are. I'm going to... and this new Like Myself cup. We're going to give you both for $19.95. So DC, call me. We can't lose.
All right, Pete. It's been fun as always. Thanks for listening, folks. To find the audio version of this, go to MMAheat.com/podcast, and we'll see you next time.